everyone, it's Sarah and welcome to my crochet channel. Today's video I'm going to be showing you how to crochet my Easter Bunny coaster. It's a super easy and quick pattern and it's a nice size. It measures about 3.5 by 4.5 inches, so it can fit a good size mug or whatever you happen to be drinking. And they also make great decorations to have around the house for your Easter or spring celebrations. Now you can find this free crochet pattern on my blog, and I'll put that link down in the notes underneath this video. What you need to make one of these little bunnies is, of course, some yarn. I'm using Red Heart Super Saver, which is a medium number 4 weight yarn. You can use cotton as well. It just depends on what you're going to use the coaster for. If you're going to be putting drinks that sweat, you might want to go with cotton yarns that will absorb that water. But if you're just making these to protect your tabletop, acrylic is just fine. I'm going to be using this mint green, white, and this lemon yellow for my demonstration. This one is all Red Heart Super Saver as well. It's just a dark pink, a white, and a orchid. We're going to be stitching today with our H hook, 5.0 millimeter crochet hook. You'll need a needle for weaving in ends and then adding the little eyes and nose. And then you'll also need your scissors. We're going to start in the center of the bunny and then work our way out. We'll do the head and the ears, and then we'll come back in and add the tail. Alright, so we're going to begin with a slip knot, and we're going to chain 5. We're going to join this chain 5 into a circle. So we'll put the tail of our yarn on our hook and pull it through, and then we'll make that little stay knot. All right. We'll go in that chain 5, pull up a loop, and chain 3. The chain 3 counts as our first double crochet. We're going to double crochet 9 more double crochets. Yarn over, go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over, and go through the second 2. And we're stitching until we have 10 double crochets, counting our chain 3. And if you'll notice, I am stitching over the tail of my yarn, and that's so at the end of this round we can pull this and it will close the hole that's in the center. We don't want a hole in the center of our bunny. Alright, let's see how many double crochets I've got. My chain 3 counts as 1, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I need to do one more. Alright, so I have 10 double crochets, counting my chain 3. I'm going to join to the top of that chain 3 with a slip stitch, and I'm just going to chain 1, and I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to gently pull on that string. Closes up the center of my bunny, and then I can come back in and weave that in later. So there's row 1. I'm going to be changing colors for row 2, so I'm going to pull that chain 1 out that we just did. That was just to hold it in place. We're going to cut the white off. There we go. And join in our yellow. Always make your chain 3 after the color change, because if you do it before the color change, you'll end up with one stitch that's the wrong color, because our chain 3 counts as our first stitch, or our first double crochet. We're going to double crochet in the same stitch as our chain 3, and then we're going to stitch 2 double crochets in each of the double crochets around. And this will take us from 10 to 20 double crochets. 2 double crochets in each of the double crochets around, and then we'll join back to the top of the chain 3. I've stitched 2 double crochets in each of those 10 double crochets around, so now I have 20 double crochets. I'm going to join to the top of the chain 3 with a slip stitch, and I'm going to bring in my next color. I'm not going to cut my yellow because when you look on this bunny, we're going to be bringing it in again up here. I'm doing yellow where this pink is, and I'm going to be bringing it back in up here. And I can just bring it across back here so that I don't have to cut that particular yarn. And we'll do the same thing on this green row that's purple in this one, because we'll be bringing the color back in. And it will just save a little bit of having to weave that in. You can cut it if you want to, if you feel more comfortable. And I'll show you how I do it without cutting it, and you can decide for yourself. All right, so I'm going to bring my green in. Out of the way, and chain 3. There we go. I have a little trouble with my chains. All right, now the way row 3 is going to work, we're going to stitch a double crochet in the same stitch as our chain 3. Then we'll stitch 1 double crochet in the next. Then we'll stitch 2 double crochets in the next. And this row is going to be what I call 1 and 2. We'll stitch 1 double crochet in the next double crochet and 2 double crochets in the next. 1 and 2. And we'll repeat that all the way around. 1 double crochet in the next stitch and 2 double crochets in the next. Working all the way around this row. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. 1, 2. One double crochet in the next, 2 double crochets in the next. 1, 2. Working all the way around, and then we'll join back to our chain 3. We're going to begin forming the little head of our bunny on this round. Now remember I said don't cut your yellow. We're going to bring the yellow back in. Snug that green one down, and we're going to leave that green one attached. I want to show you the back. We brought it up from here to here, and it eliminates having to weave that in. All right, now we're going to form the first row of the head. So what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch in the next double crochet. Then we're going to single crochet in the next. We'll stitch a half double crochet in the next double crochet. Then in this next double crochet, we're going to stitch 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. All right, now we're going to do what we did on this side, only in reverse. We'll stitch a half double crochet in the next, a single crochet in the next, and then a slip stitch in the next. And that's the first little section of our bunny head, and it kind of looks like an Easter egg. We've completed that section of the head. We're going to tie off and just bring that to the back. I'm just going to get it out of the way. There we go. Now we're going to join our green yarn or our second or a third color back in. We're going to go right to this stitch that's the first stitch on this side where we began. So we'll bring in our green, stitch a little chain 1, then we'll slip stitch in the next stitch. We'll single crochet in the next stitch. We'll half double crochet in the next. Then we'll double crochet in the next stitch. And this should bring us to the center of those 3 double crochets together. And we're going to stitch 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. And then we'll do in reverse what we did on this side. Double crochet in the next stitch, half double crochet in the next stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, we'll slip stitch in the next stitch, and then we'll slip stitch in the next stitch, which is a green or the third color from the other color. And now we've completed our little head. All right, let's add his little ears. We're going to chain 1 and we're going to turn. We're going to stitch a slip stitch in the first 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to chain 6. Then we'll turn, we'll stitch a slip stitch in the second chain, and each chain back to the bunny head. Now we'll slip stitch in the next 3 stitches, right on top of the head. 1, 2, 3, and then we'll repeat. Chain 6. We'll slip stitch in the second chain and in the next 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Because we slip stitched in the second chain and then the next 4. Then we'll slip stitch in these last stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we can tie off. Our bunny now has ears. All right, there's the back, here's the front. Now, the ears will naturally go that direction, but it's really easy just to move them around and change how you want them to be. All right, so the next thing we need to do is add our bunny's tail. To add the little bunny tail, we're going to start counting right here after the head and count down on the right side 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so we're going to put our hook in, join in our white or whatever color you want for your bunny's tail, and chain 3. All right, now right in this same stitch, we're going to stitch 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Then we'll chain 3 and join right in that same stitch. There's our bunny tail. We'll just take it to the back, tie that off, and we'll weave that in, snug those down, and there's the bunny's tail. Now, of course, we'll have to take our needle and deal with the weaving in as well. But that's how you add on the bunny tail. The last thing I'm going to do is add the bunny's little face, and I do it real simple. I go to where those 3 double crochets are, and I just make, with white yarn threaded on my needle, I just make a straight little line for the nose, and then I come up in the center and go right in the center. That's the little nose. And then I come up here and I just make 2 little lines. You can make them sideways or up and down. You can even make French knots if you want to. But just so that it has a little bit of a face, nothing major. I think you can see it better on this purple one. Here's the nose and the eyes. And then of course we're just going to weave those in the back. And that's how easy it is to make these simple little bunny coasters that will fit just about any size coffee mug or glass of tea, whatever you're drinking at your holiday or spring celebration.